You asked me what I remembered. I had an agent. I still have an agent.
Right. Good.
The same agent. But there was a guy, Tony Krantz, down the hall in TV.
Sure.
And Tony went to Rick Nacita and said, I would like to talk to David about doing something in TV.
Which you'd never done.
Never done
before.
And so I didn't want to do that. And then I had been working with Mark Frost.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Mark because of this book called The Goddess about Marilyn Monroe. And we were going to write this screenplay. But that project didn't go. So when Tony came along and said this thing, something kind of, it was like it wanted to be. But we didn't really know that.
Right.
And so we got together in Dupar's on Ventura Boulevard.
Sure. Classic.
And we talked and just kind of like rolled things around. And a thing started, and we were going to call it Northwest Passage.
Yes.
And it was going to be set in North Dakota.
Was it in North Dakota,
Yeah,
really?
it was in North
Okay,
Dakota.
okay.
And that kind of rolled around. And then we began writing more in earnest.
Mm-hmm.
And ideas started coming. And we would write at Mark's house. And he had a chair that reminded me of a kind of a chair the psychiatrist would put a patient in. A kind of a chaise lounge.
Right.
Black leather. And it was a little slippery. And that's where I would lay down in there. And
stare at the ceiling and come up with ideas.
and then we were writing, and we wrote like that. And this one night at about 9:45, maybe 10 o'clock, we finished the script for the pilot. And Mark printed out 2 copies. And when I got home, I thought, oh, I will read this script now. And I sat down and I read it. And I got on the phone right away to Mark. And I said, Mark, this is pretty good. And he said, I know, I just finished reading it myself. He said, it's pretty good. And we were sort of surprised. I heard a surprise in his voice.
Right.
He heard a surprise in my voice.
Right.
And that's what, started everything.